Madden 19 is just around the corner. It's time to get our heads straight and face the facts. We're not as good at this game as we'd like to be. In fact, in a lot of ways, we suck. But that doesn't mean we can't improve and start winning more weekend league games, start qualifying for Madden Championship tournaments, and start having way more fun playing this game. So if you're ready to improve yourself like I am, with some old salary cap gameplay in the background, here are the top 5 reasons you suck at EA Sports Madden NFL Football.
Deuce close. Mastering Madden.
Number 5, you blame everybody but yourself. I've been there countless times. You lose because the game hates you and gave your opponent the fumble recovery. You lost because your opponent is using all the most annoying meta plays, and you lost because the whole world is conspiring against you. But guess what? The simple fact is that you just weren't good enough. Random things like fumble recoveries and block sheds will go your way sometimes, and they'll go the opponent's way sometimes. But it's up to you to not let the randomness decide the game. The top players in Madden will win the vast majority of the games for a reason. They've put themselves in positions to win most of the little interactions of the game, and that all adds up to the final victory. They prepare for all of those little unknowns until they have full control over the game. The first and most important step you have to take when trying to improve your Madden game is to put yourself in control. That means when you win, you made it happen. And if you lose, you made it happen. Now, that doesn't mean you should hold yourself as a master of this game after you win a game or two. You got to be careful not to get caught up in your own hype here. And at the other end of things, you shouldn't hang your head in the dirt when you lose a game. And this is especially true during the games. You know, if the game glitches you out or your opponent runs a swerve on you, take a breath, note what's happening, and just calmly move on to the next play. Once you start to get in that cycle of frustration, you've already lost the game. Stop blaming others for your loss. Then number 4, you don't review your performance. I spent my first 2 or 3 years of playing Madden just trying to get good at the game by just playing one game after another, coming out of the game thinking like I even knew what just happened. When, in reality, I missed probably 95% or more of what actually went on. All the little interactions that occur, I've just summed up into, hey, I think I did pretty good in that game, but I just got unlucky at the end there with a deep bomb or a sack or whatever. Or, how did that guy's linebacker stuff every one of my runs when mine didn't do anything? They just kind of sat there. That's so unfair. When you actually take the time to watch these things, you get a much greater vision on where you can improve. The highlights that are given at the end of the game can help a bit. You can see some of those key interceptions or that sack or that touchdown pass he threw, but you should really record the entire game. Pro tip here, after every game on PlayStation, I'm not sure about Xbox, press the share button and then save that video clip. So my PlayStation will take the last hour or so of gameplay, and then you sum that all up into a catalog of games. And then at the end of your day, take 15, 20, 30 minutes and go over all your plays. Of course, the most important ones being coming out of your losses, and then even more importantly, the ones coming from your big losses against much better opponents, because you can then see where you can really improve. So you can see things like, why isn't your favorite play that was so good before, why isn't that working anymore? What's my opponent doing? Why is that blitzing linebacker getting through every time? What's this blitz? How can I block that? And why isn't my defensive end that I paid $500,000 MUT coins on not doing anything? Why is he just playing patty cake with the tackle? Why isn't he stuffing the run? Where can I get him into position? Or, am I spending too much money on that position? This goes back to my original point of putting yourself into control. The Madden gods aren't letting that corner route get open on you. You are. You're not putting the right zone there. You're not putting the right player there. Review your performance and start to act on improvement. Improve your game plan. Number 3, you don't actually have a game plan. You need to have an answer for everything. Find 10 ways to beat Tampa 2. Find a way to beat it on the sidelines. Find a way to beat it deep for a one-play touchdown. Find a way to get consistent and easy 5 yards every single time. Find 15 ways to beat man coverage. Have an answer for the meta. Have an answer for wham and pitch. Learn to lock down common plays that, the bread and butter of everybody, like inside zone, and put that all into one tidy package that you're comfortable with. For me, in defense this year, that meant finding all of the best adjustments to 4-3 normal and never getting out of it. It saves you the confusion of not knowing what formation, personnel, play, and adjustments that you need to make for all the different offensive plays that you might come up across, and it puts you on the front foot. So instead of thinking, okay, I need to cycle this, I need to go into this formation, I need to do this one specific adjustment. No, you know exactly what you need to do because you're always and then for me, I was only running 1 or 2 different plays out of that same formation with the same personnel. So I knew right away what to make, and right away that put me on the front foot and me in control. And you need to start building on that. So you notice something new that's troubling you, even something that only 1 or 2 players might be using, you should get a game plan for that. Keep your head clear, and even during the game, you start to develop an answer for it, whether that's during the game or afterwards in practice mode. Develop an answer for everything, every little thing. And it should be a great answer. It shouldn't just be like, okay, this will somewhat mitigate it sometimes a little bit. No, you want to almost beg your opponent to try the hottest meta on you, because you know that you'll have a chance at an interception or a sack or a hit in the backfield because you've prepared for it. Otherwise, you're just sitting and hoping, you're hoping for the Madden gods to help you out. That's not what winners do, and that's not what smart people do. Then you might ask, where do I find the time to develop this game plan? Because there's so many different little things. Different players can be running different formations, different plays, different, even the meta is somewhat expansive and changing throughout the year. Where do I develop the time to develop this? Or sorry, where do I find the time to develop this? The only one place where you can definitely sacrifice time, and that brings me to the next number, the next point, is the amount of time that you spent trying to improve your team, trying to improve the cards that you have on your Madden Ultimate Team. So I get it. You want to have the hottest and newest cards on your Madden Ultimate Team roster. I mean, it's the point of Ultimate Team after all. But there's a fine line between finding the right players and the right personnel for your team and spending countless hours and dollars grinding for the best players in the hopes that, they'll win you more games rather than your scheme, essentially. So that old mantra of scheme over team takes precedence here. So, you'll have situations where, I got that new Aaron Rodgers, and the first game he threw 3 picks for me. This card is trash. This game is trash. No, man, you're trash. Put yourself in control. An hour in practice mode will go a lot further than an hour grinding for an untradeable Cam Chancellor. Again, it took me way too long to realize this for myself, but I'm telling you now. I mean, unless that's what you like to do. So if that's what you bought this game to do, that's what you like to do, I can't knock that. At the end of the day, though, that's just chasing virtual cards, which anyone can do. Completing sets, getting those flashy cards, wasting time on AI opponents is only a waste of time if you're trying to improve and have more fun actually playing the in-game aspects of Madden. Otherwise, again, if that's what you like to do, that's what you like to do. But if you're trying to improve, that's definitely a time sink and a coin sink for you. And number 1, the most important point of why you suck at Madden NFL football, you're just not willing to risk anything. You got to take the time to explore that new playbook. Use it on Weekend League even. Use more hard flats. Take out a deep zone if you know it's not going to be needed. I used to play so passively. I'd just sit there and cover 3 or cover 2 and throw in some sad blitz hoping the game would make the stop for me, but that's just going to get you carved up by even moderately advanced players. Take a deep shot, run it on 3rd and long or even 4th and medium, 4th and inches, whatever. Do anything that'll push your opponent back on their heels and put you in control. But don't be stupid about it either. This goes back to what I was saying about being prepared with a game plan. Don't be willing to send 6 or 7 on a blitz unless you know it's going to come through and you know it's going to come through quickly and you can adjust with your user of where you got to cover for those 1 or 2 seconds. Don't put that defender in man coverage, that slot defender in man coverage on a problem route unless you know that he can actually cover that route. Always make sure there's benefit to your risk. Otherwise, you're just not getting anywhere there. Anyway, that's it, guys. Again, I've made these mistakes plenty of times in the past. I've kind of played 2 or 3 years of Madden blindly, and this is kind of what I've come up with. So now that you don't have to make these mistakes and you can start to improve as a Madden player. I only picked 5 points because I know that each and every one of these is important and totally critical. I'm definitely serious about that. You should avoid all 5 of these and start changing your game for the better before Madden 19 comes out, so that you are in control and you win more games. Anyway, leave a like and we'll see you in the next one.